All right, welcome back to Red Door Conversations. I am Kimberly Dixon Dudley with Kimberly Lane Properties, and I'm here with my lovely Red Door Conversation co-host. I'm going to start down at the end. Hey, Miss Marla Lewis.
Hey, girl, how are you?
I'm doing well. I'm excited for this show. We got
Me
some
too.
good stuff.
Yes.
Good stuff. Good stuff to share. Tana.
Good
Tana
morning.
Young.
I am ready to get this going. Can't wait to talk to our guests and get some good information. It's gonna be good.
And last but not least, Miss Lisa B. White.
Good morning.
I always call her by her name.
All
Lisa
of
B.
it.
White.
All of it.
Always.
All of it. But it's okay. That B is what makes me. That's brown.
I love it.
We can't forget that.
Love it.
That's
Love
that
it.
blood that's in here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
There you go.
Yeah. And y'all, you know us. We are your expert real estate agents and professionals for the Houston and surrounding area. But we have a special guest joining us today who is also an expert in her lane, Miss Stacy Nicole McCabe. Welcome.
Hello, ladies.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Good
Thank you
morning.
for joining the show. We were just commenting. She looks like she belongs on the panel.
Yes. Do you hear me?
They just
you
fit
slay.
right in.
Can you slay?
Came to select.
I slay, you slay, we slay.
slay.
Do my best.
Yes, Stacey slay her. I done looked them up. So
Exactly.
I have looked you all up.
You know who she kind of reminds me of?
Who's that?
Rashida.
Rashida from,
What is that show?
is it a reality show?
Yes.
Oh,
am I saying her name right?
The Atlanta show?
Yes. Have you heard that before?
Yeah. No, I have not.
I've never heard that. Okay, y'all,
Well,
let me
she
just
is
tell
good.
you, Stacy is a triple threat. When I say triple threat, she is a triple threat. This young lady is a real estate professional. She is a title expert. She
Okay.
also owns multiple real estate businesses that include a mobile notary service and a transaction coordination service. So,
Awesome.
I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot. And she's been doing, title work for 2 decades, 20 years. You could not tell from her youthful glow.
I'm just about to say she looks like she's 20.
Right.
Right.
But y'all, this is my friend, realtor, and I've known her for so long. She brings an exceptionally unique skill set to the table, and I want to share all the information, all of her knowledge, get everything we can about title work out to our viewers on this show. So stick around. We'll be right back. You don't want to go anywhere.
Thank you for staying with us. You're watching Red Door Conversations. I'm your co-host, Lisa White, and we're going to get right into this show. I'm going to ask Stacy, what is a title company and what exactly do you guys do?
Well, a title company is to, of course, provide title insurance. Our ultimate job is to protect your assets. We protect the buyers, the sellers, the lenders, banks. We protect all involved parties. So it's to protect one of the biggest assets that anybody purchases at this time. We safeguard you. That's the best way I can put that.
That's good to hear. You know,
Yeah.
most people will say,
That's a good way to put it too.
what is a title company and what do they do? They have no idea.
They do a lot.
So to make it a little plainer for our viewers, let's just say a buyer purchased a home. You guys provided the title commitment and the general warranty deed and all of that good stuff. And so let's just say they've been in the home now for probably about a year, and they receive a knock at the door, and they're handed a lien. And so that lien, because you guys have provided them with that general warranty deed, is that something that Select Title or the proposed title company that they're with, is that will you guys handle that if that mechanic lien was done prior to them purchasing the property?
Yes. So if a lien is attached to a property and it closed with the lien in place prior to closing, then it was not caught or listed on the title commitment, and then something popped up, it is the title company's responsibility to clear that lien. Okay. And so most title agencies carry E&O insurance, just like real estate firms. So when an error happens, that policy becomes effective in order to clear that lien on behalf of the seller so that the buyer is no longer responsible for that.
Got it. So we just want you guys to understand the importance of it, because I know when you're in a real estate transaction, a lot of times all you see are fees here, fees there, and you really don't understand yes, the benefit
What's
of
going
it.
on.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
And so we're just trying to simplify that for you guys.
That was excellent.
So, Stacy, my question is this. How should a title company be chosen? Also, like, who should choose it? And then what's important to consider in the choosing of a title company?
So I honestly don't believe that choosing or selecting a title company is just to go and sign some papers. I honestly believe that it's about building a relationship, having a partnership with your professional title agent. One, because we're in this together. You know, I'm here to help make sure your transaction goes as smoothly as possible. If I'm as vested as you, then we shouldn't have any issues at the end of the day. So I believe that choosing, of course, a professional title agency, someone that you can communicate well with, email with, talk with. You might have their cell phone number. You can call at 10 o'clock at night. You know, at the end of the day, you know, it needs to be a partnership, someone that you can work with consistently and they know you feel comfortable knowing they can get the job done and you're both working efficiently, ethically, and still operating within our fiduciary responsibility.
To
That's
get
a
across,
good
and
one.
you were
Yeah.
well versed in that 10 o'clock
Yes.
text message from me, Stacy. I'm so sorry it's late, but and she will answer. You know, it's important to have the person that's driving the transaction.
You better say that.
Accessible,
Yes.
and able to answer questions when you have those questions. Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
Sometimes the next day might kill the deal.
right.
Exactly. Yes.
That's right.
Especially when
That's
you
a
get
good
closer
point.
to closing, you know, there should be like, hey, if you didn't call me by 4 or 5, you're cut off.
Yeah.
If you know that you have a closing the very next day.
Or if
Right.
you have a lender saying, "Hey, I've already sent the docs to title."
Right.
Right.
Well, I can pick up the phone and call Stacy. Stacy,
Exactly.
the lender says the docs are a title, and she's like, "No, ma'am, they're not here."
Yeah.
And it's not like after 4 o'clock,
Yeah.
I can't get in touch with
Yeah.
anybody. So,
Girl, that makes all the difference.
Doesn't
Because,
it?
because I'm gonna be
Yes.
honest, I'm pissed. If you know this is a critical transaction and you're not responding,
Mm-hmm.
this is the last deal we doing together.
but
How
if you
about
don't have a relationship,
yeah, this the last one.
if you don't have a relationship
Yeah.
with that title person or title professional, you don't get
You
that
can't
answer.
be on my team.
Well, you don't get that answer.
That's what I'm saying.
You can't be on my team.
Yeah,
You gotta
you
go.
been dropped from the team. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. I'm removing you from one as being my board of directors.
You need a new
can't-
start
you can't
five.
be there anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
Now, Stacy, how are transactions funded through a title company?
A few ways. So, of course, we have cash transactions. So, cash transactions typically fund immediately, considering we receive good funds. And good funds,
Okay.
good funds are a wire transfer or a cashier's check. And so once we receive those funds, then for cash, we can fund immediately. For lender transactions, we have to receive typically lender funds, which are normally received in the wire also. And then we may also receive buyer funds, those good funds. And then we have to have a funding authorization number. And that's when all signed documents are sent to the sent to the lender, from the title company, and everything is reviewed to ensure accuracy. And then at that point, they'll fund us with an authorization number.
Okay.
So while we're talking about funding, let me ask a very critical question with what's going on now. Wire fraud is really big right now. And so what is Select Title's process?
Secure title.
Secure
Title of Texas.
I'm so sorry. Secure Title of Texas. What is the process if you have a buyer that says they have wired money to you guys, but you guys haven't received it? What is that window that this transaction can be caught or reversed? That, if possible.
Good question. Well, under most circumstances, unless it was an inaccuracy in the account number, it is very difficult to reverse a wire. Yeah. Once it hits, it hits. It's typically a 1 to 3 business hour transaction window that from the time it's initiated to time received. So I mean, if it's going to the right place based on the numbers, it's gonna get there.
It's going to get there. And if it's not going to the right place and it hits somewhere else within that 1 to 3 hour window, can we reverse it or it's just done?
It's done. You need that party.
Gave me hot burns.
But
You need that party to reverse it for you.
But with that being said, Stacey, is that why you guys make it so critical that before sending a wire,
You
that
verify.
Yeah, we. I mean, we
verify the
posted on our wire instructions. We let everyone know. Please give us a call to verify our routing and account number. Don't just take an email that you may
Right.
receive that looks similar to our email addresses, but definitely call us to
Pick up that phone
verify
and call.
that you're sending the right money.
Have you experienced that?
Oh,
in your-
I have.
So you don't advise anyone to just send an email.
You
It's
were
like,
about
hey,
to
pick up
ask
the
that as
phone.
well.
and call.
Good
And
question.
have a
I advise
conversation.
everyone to
Yeah.
pick up and call.
I
Yes,
agree.
it's the best choice. I have experienced that. Actually, last week it was the weirdest transaction. I received $175,000 wire.
Mhm.
No reference, no property address, no GF file number, nothing. And
Oh my
we have to
gosh.
reconcile our accounts daily.
Right.
So the money was just sitting there. I called our corporate account and let them know, hey, I don't know where this goes just yet, but give me a day.
It's $10.
Kept kind of searching around, and it happened to be one of my primary clients, and he
Wow.
called like, oh, that's my guy's money from Dubai. Like, well,
Wow.
and he blanket just sent money
Just
with
send
the
money.
intent to be purchasing property.
Oh my goodness.
You gotta be kidding me.
Dubai.
Yes.
That
Oh my
makes
gosh.
International.
I thought like, wow. I was like, well, he didn't know. He didn't have a contract or anything. He just sent the money.
He trusted that guy.
He trusted him.
Oh, he trusted
And we were able to apply it, but at the end of the day, if he didn't send it to the right place, it could have went somewhere else, and the
And if
likelihood
there's
of him
a-
receiving
And
that back.
if it went to
Yeah.
a dishonest party, then that's where, I mean, because
Yeah.
you would reverse it.
Right.
And it did, yeah.
We will reverse it.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's not like he sent $175.
No,
Right.
You know,
He sent
he sent
$75,000.
$175,000.
Now, have you ever gotten any fraudulent wires?
We have not gotten fraudulent wires, but as much as wire transfers are, there's fraudulent activity. There are people also recreating checks, fraudulent checks.
Oh.
I've heard that.
And so we
Yeah.
did experience that for
Wow.
a period of time where someone was fraudulently sending out checks under our company name,
Girl.
thousands of dollars.
Under
People
so from
surely
the
do
title
have a lot of.
company.
I mean, but
Yes.
that's a whole business, you know.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so what do you guys, how do you guys
That's just insane.
protect yourself from that kind of activity?
I mean, it's difficult. I mean, our account number is out there. It's just, we're emailing that out like all
To-
day, every day.
right.
Someone calls and a buyer, they want to
Like,
wire their earnest money,
Right,
option money
right.
down. They get the wire instructions. One thing that I can say that may help resolve this a bit is there's a new mobile app that is coming about that's going
I was
to
gonna ask that.
streamline how clients send earnest money and option money. It's called Zocom. And so it is a mobile app from
We
your
use that.
phone. And it
And
pulls
so
directly from your phone.
And this is across the board.
It's
for
across
all
the
title.
board. Yes,
Yeah,
it's
for the industry.
for the
Okay.
industry. Now, not every title company is, accepting it at this
And how do
time.
you spell that?
What is?
Zocom, Zocaam. And so it is a mobile app. You download it to your phone and you can go in and you locate your service provider, click it, and decide whatever you're going to send, the amount, and it pulls directly from your account and directly deposits into
That's
that
safe.
title
I like that
That's
better.
safer.
It's much
Yeah,
safer.
It's much
So
safer.
I do
And it
think
takes
over
the
time.
stress off of you all if anything happens, and it's like it's coming straight from
Yes.
the buyer, the seller.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Wow, that is just insane. Well, guys, we're going to take a quick commercial break, but when we come back, we're going to hear more from Stacey and everything that she has to go over with title.
Thank you.
Yes.
All right, welcome back to Red Door Conversation. You have been listening to myself and my co-host and our lovely guest, Miss Stacey Nicole McCabe, Senior Escrow Officer with Secured Title, and we are just going to dive in because she's sharing so much information. You are a buyer, a seller, investor looking to move a transaction. The title company is really your key resource. And so, Stacey, what I want to know is really what is the most difficult part of your job as a Senior Escrow Officer?
Well, considering I have been doing this for close to 25 years, it's not really a job. I've always said this every time I hire someone. I'm like, you either love it or hate it. It's just no real in between here. So, I have a genuine passion which is probably why I do so much in the industry. I like to see the end result and everyone happy. So one of the challenges that I face is dealing with maybe heightened emotions or setting expectations mostly, because everyone has their own set of expectations. You have a realtor expectation, a lender, a buyer, a seller. Everybody's on their own timeline. So managing that is probably the most challenging to keep everybody on task to close.
Especially when you're at the closing table and surprises may come up.
Yeah.
And you just said something. So the title company is the central source for the realtor, the buyer, the seller, the lender, the insurance company. All that information goes through you all, right? And it's up to y'all to make sure it's accurate and correct.
Correct. Well, the insurance is more lender. They will make sure that's accurate, but we make sure they get paid.
Right. So, I mean, it's like you are the heart of the transaction, meaning
Yes, I'm the
because
heart of the
everyone
transaction.
yeah, because
I keep it beaten.
It's not gonna happen without
Yes.
the title company.
That's right.
Right.
Yes.
That's right.
So, what could buyers, sellers, realtors, what could the whole team do to make the experience seamless or just more efficient? What would you ask of every client?
So I would say for each party to accept their own role within the transaction. As a buyer, you know what you need to do to get your file closed. As a seller, you have an idea if you have a tax lien. Let us know up front.
Would you say that, girl?
Double down on that.
Right. You know if you don't own this property with two other sisters, or,
Right.
you know this. So don't
be
come into it like, oh no, I'm the only one and I'm ready to sign today. And then we pull title and get commitment and it's like, well, you have 12 heirs over here that you can't find.
Yeah.
So my title partner, we have a slogan that we go by called CPR, which is communication, proactiveness, and responsiveness. And so that's basically keeping everybody in tune so that we're all on the same page. I totally understand that things happen at the last minute. I think I deal with more last minute than one person should have to deal with. But it all works out if I can communicate effectively with
Every party.
And, so if everyone could just play their role, do their part, everything will run
Stay in their lane.
Stay in their lane.
If everybody is not as needy as Kim, huh?
No,
I'm just kidding.
not at all.
I'm only kidding. Shade.
Not at all. Not at all.
God.
Not at all.
I'm just kidding. I love me some Kim, honey.
Yes, I do too.
Yes, honey.
So let me ask you this. In terms of that communication, what was the other one? I remember communication, proactiveness, and responsiveness. What are some of the things that you guys set in place? Say that, I have a seller, and I say, okay, Stacey, I want to open title. My sellers would like to open title here with Secure Title of Texas. How do we get that process started? What's some of the first steps that you would take with the seller to start that? I was gonna say CPR, y'all. It's not CPR. It is. So how do you get that started? Is what I'm asking.
Oh, so initially, of course, once we get the contract and we get the title commitment open, immediately we send out documents to either the agent, broker, or the seller itself if we have that contact information to gather information early on. kind of trying to investigate before we get it so that we can kind of be a step ahead, because once we get the title, you know, it takes 1 to 3 business days to get the title commitment back, but once we get it, we're on a timeline.
And what kind of information are you?
It's their social minimum, the last 4 of their social, most recent addresses up to the last 5 years, date of birth, because many liens and things like that are attached to your social address or your date of birth. And so we can obtain that information early on. We can eliminate a lot of things and reduce the timeline on clearing title.
Got it. Okay. Okay. So it would be prudent then for that seller to get on board right away.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I think that as a real estate professional, knowing that too, gathering that information from the client and providing that to the title company with the title request is also helpful, because it kind of just fast forwards the transaction completely. Like, we already have everything that's needed really to get title cleared, unless something weird pops up and it's someone that happened to pop in title that we don't know about. You never know what people do sometimes.
Got it.
Let me ask you a question real quick, Stacy. I had an experience with a title company here recently that should remain nameless, but when I represented the buyer in the transaction, and I was directed to order my client's home warranty. And every title company, I have been in this industry, August will be 20 years. I've never had to order a home warranty for my client. Do you guys order the home warranties, or do you instruct the realtor to order that?
So we have a variety of ways that many times we do receive the invoices from the broker or agent, but we have preferred vendors that we use. We typically ask, and do you have a preferred service provider, or would you like us to use our service provider? And they will inform us, and we will move forward from there.
And you guys would just take care of it for them?
Yes.
And they put the order in?
We put the order in based on the amount on the contract and any services if they want to go above or beyond that amount.
So I'm going to ask, what about the ladies here at the table? Do you order your own clients' home warranties and send that invoice to the title company? Marla, is that something you do regularly?
No.
Title company takes care of that.
I haven't done that, but I have been, on the phone with home warranty companies, getting all the information, and then calling my client and letting my client know.
So you do that pretty regularly?
I don't do it all the time. I don't do it regularly, but I will do it as a courtessy. Just as an added, service, but not all the time.
So do you?
I have.
Yeah.
I've done what Tana said. I've gone through, hey, this is what, this warranty company offers.
Well, I do that. I say this is what it offers, but when it comes down,
calling and ordering,
right, the calling and the ordering it, that's always been the title.
Did you have to pay for it?
Oh, girl,
yeah.
no.
No. Like, and I've even done like emails, putting everyone on one email, just trying to make it very easy.
Now I will do all of that. I'm more or less talking about once they make the selection for the home warranty company that they want to use. This particular title company said, "Great, now you need to order it and send us the invoice." No, that's what I'm talking about.
I haven't done that.
Yeah, I do all of the other stuff, but I'm talking about that one step. It just put me in a bad way. So they are off the list. Girl, I'm like, what did you say?
They are off the list.
Off the list.
Okay. Now, Stacey, do you have any buyer seller beware stories that can help someone avoid just title mishaps that you can share with us?
Absolutely.
Tell us. Do share.
Yes.
I call those my after the fact clients. Those are the ones that go and buy real estate without title insurance.
Yes.
And so
like for sale by owners?
It's for sale by owners, or sometimes it's these this is my buddy kind of transaction, and the buddy wasn't quite honest about,
right.
He had maybe other siblings that were involved that needed to sign, or he had some debt attached to the property, and then I'll get the call like, hey, I'm just asking, what are my options here? And typically they have inherited all that. And so those are debts that they didn't know they were getting, but it's theirs now.
Stacey, hold that thought. We're going to go take a quick commercial break, but we'll be right back.
Welcome back to Red Door Conversations, Real Talk and Realty. We've been talking with Miss Stacy McCabe of Secured Title of Texas. Thank you so much for being here today, Stacy. We've had such an amazing show already, but I do have one more question.
Okay.
Can you think of any transaction or instance where a real estate transaction itself might not require a title company?
No.
No? That quick?
That was
easy.
that very fast. She's like, no.
I mean, of course, someone will say, "Oh, it's just a $10,000 lot I'm selling. I don't need title insurance." And so, in my brain over here as a realtor, I'm like, "Oh, that'll work." And then in my brain over here as a title agent, I'm like, "No, that won't work. It just won't." And so my heart is a hard no. I just believe that safeguarding your assets is top priority.
I was sharing with Stacy during the break. I'm like, I don't know if I want to buy property anywhere that is not a title state, a title company state. To me, it would just be scary.
Well, you're not required to use a title company.
No,
You're not required.
I'm saying because they know so much information, and I was asking Stacy if other states like maybe New York or Massachusetts, those states close at an attorney's office.
Yes,
Can they get the same good information as a title company? That's what I want to know.
Or do they have the manpower?
Yes,
More
yes.
about the manpower. It's a
And
lot
so-
of
It may
effort.
not be their primary goal. I mean, their primary space of business.
Yeah,
It may be
yeah.
just a service that they offer.
I think the manpower would interfere without having that title piece, that service, because it's a lot that goes into researching all of that information and making sure that clear title is being transferred over.
Absolutely.
So before we leave, because I know we're short on time, I did have a question. Just right before we broke, we were talking about liens on a property after closing, and one of my agents had a closing that occurred at Secure Title Texas, and I got a call from this guy, and he says, y'all just closed this deal and y'all didn't contact me. I am a mechanic and I have a lien on this property. And I was like, I know where this closed. You can't possibly have a lien on the property because I know how thorough you all are.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if he had the agreement signed and did not record it. But if it's not recorded, then it doesn't exist. How do you handle that?
So a lien must be recorded, and it must be recorded in the proper county to attach to the property. And so just to provide a small little piece there, say for instance, you close on a Monday and the person goes and files a lien on Tuesday. There's a piece in there called a gap of, because we don't know that you did this or you went Monday afternoon and filed that. So that could happen, and it could create where now a lien has attached to a property that literally closed because they went, and that does happen.
How long is the gap?
For instance, it could we have to pull what we call a BTD, which is a bring to date. And so we typically do that either 24 hours prior to close or at funding. And so that's just to ensure that nothing popped in before we fund.
And you guys heard her. She said at funding.
Okay.
Oh man, so this has been good.
It has been
Yes.
amazing,
Yeah,
is what
people
it's been. And
Don't
thank you
know.
so much for coming onto the show.
Absolutely.
Guys, you should not ever close on a property without title insurance, without a
Never.
title policy.
Never.
And so thank you so much once again.
Thank you.
We appreciate
Thank
you guys. And to the audience, we will see you next time. Until then, take care.